stimuli package. So we now want to just give perspective on this, and we'll be speaking to Simon Mwangi, who is the head of government and institutional banking at CDN Bank, just to give us more perspective on this. He joins us virtually. Good to see you, sir. Could you just give us a bit of your quick reactions on what the president said, particularly in the financial services sector?
Thank you. And my name is Simon Mwangi, the head of government and institutional banking. And number one is to say that we are very, very pleased with what the president said yesterday. It's going a long way to opening up the economy. Of course, definitely from lifting up the curfew to some of the interventions that he said that will be happening soon. And also touching even on the CLB listing for some of the people who have been affected and therefore not able to probably access credit in the banks. So there are measures that we see they are going to help a lot in terms of helping the MSMEs, what we call the medium and small, micro and small medium enterprises, to come back to the foot and recover from the pandemic.
Simon, Kenyans are upbeat about President Uhuru Kenyatta's directive to delist them from the Credit Reference Bureau. But how is the financial sector taking this move? How are you guys preparing for this?
I think we are taking it positive because, you know, after the after COVID came in, a number of businesses were affected, not because they don't have capacity to work, but because the markets, of course, went down. So the majority of them, you know, SMEs drive the economy in this country.
Sure.
So without accessing credit, they are not able, you know, to recover and move forward or even expand. So this issue of at least pardon a bit on the CRB listing is going to help them be able to also access, you know, credit when they need it, and probably even be able to service. For those who have not been servicing loans because of low business, they're likely now to come up and start servicing their loans, and the economy will grow. So it's a positive move that the industry, we are looking at it with a lot of positivity to see how we can all recover.
Still on that question, Simon, it is almost 24 hours since the president gave that directive. Have you people heard from the Central Bank of Kenya concerning the same?
Not yet. We're expecting to get now that guidance from the CBK. And then we are going to act on that.
Talking of CBK, the CBK is the biggest regulator of all banking, commercial banks in the country, and of course other financial services providers here in the country. And earlier on, we saw an institutional measure being put in place whereby every transaction that is made by a client to a bank, withdrawal or depositing above $10,000 US, which loosely translates to about 1 million Kenya shillings, would be reported. All this in a bid to, you know, control fraud, money laundering, and of course funding terrorism. Do you think this one measure is enough? If not, what other measures could we employ as a country to curtail money laundering in the country?
I think those are some of the measures that are quite important in terms of supporting, like I said, the SMEs. If you look at most of the SMEs from the space that was quoted, is that majority of SMEs use cash transactions.
Sure.
And fully a digital economy, like if you go to Europe or other countries now. So it has always been a challenge in terms of how the SMEs transact in this country. But again, we are waiting for further guidance from CBK on how this is going to be taken going forward. But I think, to me, it's a positive measure to see how we can support the economy as we go towards digitization of the whole, you know, cash system.
Great. Let's go back to the CRB question. I'm sure it somehow complicates the metrics for you with regard to, you know, looking at someone's creditworthiness. So what other metrics are there to, you know, measure someone's creditworthiness before advancing a loan to them?
There are quite a number. CRB is just one of them.
Okay.
Of course, we look at the purpose. Why is the borrower, you know, borrowing? We look at the sustainability of the project that we want to do. We look at their experience in a particular area. Like now, you know, if you have to look at the hotel industry, it's one of the ones that was highly affected by COVID. So we have players in that industry who have lagged behind in terms of loan repayments, and they are listed now by CRB. So they are now curtailed from borrowing further. So lifting now that CRB is going to help them to access credit. But the banks will also, of course, look at other factors, like I said. How is the business sustainability? How is the experience of the people who are managing that business? How is the cash flow of the business without COVID? You know, the previous records, how was the business performing, to see whether you are qualified for a credit.
Great.
So quite a mixture of measures that the banks will look at, not just the fact that you are not listed in CRB. It doesn't just qualify you to have a credit from the banks.
There are alternative metrics, right?
Alternative metrics, yeah.
Great. So let's talk about your performance in the last financial year. What were the number of moratoriums perhaps you restructured for small and medium enterprises, and has this affected your overall turnover?
I think we have supported the SMEs in this country and also micro entrepreneurs. Over the years, during the time of COVID, we were able to do quite a number of restructures and supporting the customers. Some of them have already started paying the loans because of after getting that moratorium. Some are still enjoying the moratoriums, depending with the sector that they are in. But now the opening of the economy, we do hope that people now will get back to the real economic cycle. I think across, if you look at even like for Syrian Bank, our aim has been always to support the micro and small and medium enterprises. In 2020, you remember, we looked at one of the sectors that have been really affected by COVID and to see how we can support them. Together with our partners, Aqua for All, we launched a WASH program. That's a program that focuses on water, sanitation, and hygiene. And so far, 13 months down the line, we've been able to support that sector with approximately 4 million euros in terms of cheaper credit, subsidized. We've been able to support over 550 MSMEs in that sector. And we've been able to touch the lives of almost 2.6 million people who have benefited from this program. Again, you look at the water sector, because after COVID, that was a key area that had been initially ignored by most of the financial institutions in the country. But the demand is. I can say we played a big role in the bank to support investors and communities around the water, sanitation, and hygiene.
As we bring
and we
this
continue
discussion
supporting.
to
For us, what we normally do is that we do listen to our customers when they come. If they do moratoriums, we look at their operating environments. If they qualify, we always accommodate them.
As we bring the discussion to a close, that's quite some portfolio right there covered in terms of supporting things that are seen as social enterprises rather. Are there any other opportunities that Syrian Bank has its eyes on in the market?
Yeah, we're working with quite a number of partners. We have like East Africa Development, we're working with the Africa Guarantee Fund, and we are working with other to promote, for example, the health sector. Another area that, after COVID showed us as Kenyans, we really need to upgrade, our health systems. So, the government will look after the public institutions, but when you come to the private health institutions, there's still a bit of, a lot to be done there, which financial institutions need to come in and support. In future, if we have another scenario like COVID, we should be prepared in terms of some of those sectors that have been underlooked before by financial institutions. In the agribusiness also, we are working a lot with the East Africa Development Bank to get cheap credit again to advance to the agriculture sector, the whole value chain of the players in the agriculture sector. So we are looking at areas that are quite impactful in the economy: health, water, agriculture. Those are areas that, if well addressed, they can not just run the economy, but also, promote in terms of creating employment opportunities and even food security to the country, which is one of the agendas in this government.
Great. Many thanks, Mr. Simon Mwangi, right there from CDN Bank, the head of government and institutional banking. He has been speaking to us on the interpretation around President Uhuru Kenyatta's directive that was done yesterday during the celebration